Stop trying to impress. Start being impossible to break. You have read the clickbait lines. You have tried the selfies. You have sent the late-night texts that felt okay at 2 in the morning and desperate by dawn. You watch others move through rooms, collect attention, and you wonder why the same rules never apply to you. You ask the wrong question. You ask how to make someone like you. You should ask how to become a man who is worth liking. This is not about tricks. This is not about lying. This is not about schemes that make consent a manipulation. This is about two truths that work together like a lock and key. One comes from the quiet of the mind. One comes from the ruthless clarity of social strategy. Together they let you hold presence. Together they let desire follow you like weather follows a mountain. The pain is simple. You feel small when the match does not reply. You feel exposed when a date cancels. You panic when a conversation stalls. Those moments make you chase. So you explain away silence. You promise yourself explanations that feel like armor. They are not armor. They are paper. You have been taught to treat attraction like a shopping list. You tick boxes and you hope. It does not work. Why does this matter? Because your actions echo. Wanting looks like need. Need looks like weakness. Weakness makes people withdraw. Attraction does the opposite. It wants distance, mystery, and steady calm. It wants a man who has better things to do than fix his mood through a phone. It wants someone with inner rules. So first, a Stoic truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote a line that sounds simple and then lands like a stone. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Hold that. Repeat it until it stops being a phrase and becomes muscle. Once your mind is yours, your reactions stop being permission slips to chaos." Now a second truth, drawn from sharper strategy. Niccolo Machiavelli observed human nature like a surgeon studies flesh. He does not praise cruelty. He names patterns. One pattern matters here. People give what they feel lacks inside the other. If you project lack, you will be given more lack. If you project command, others try to match that level. This is not manipulation if you use it to raise the bar for yourself. It is a method to stop outsourcing your value. Combine these two truths. Calm control of your inner world, tactical control of your presence. You stop reacting. You start choosing. That is the point where attraction becomes simple. Not easy, but simple. Picture a scene. You match with someone on an app. Messages begin. She sends a line that could be a test. You feel the itch to answer instantly. You want to fill the silence with proof that you are funny, attentive, interesting. You can do that. Or you can do this. Pause, breathe. Ask a sharper question later. Reply with a short, high-value line that makes her imagine more instead of telling her everything now. You do not explain yourself. You do not correct tone. You pick the next move like a man who has options. Here is the first core insight. Calm is attractive, not a static calm like a stone in a river. It is a lived calm that changes the shape of the room. It is present, responsive, and rare. Most men offer noise. You offer composed silence. This does not mean you are cold. It means you are steady. Most people mistake attention for presence. Attention can be bought. Presence is cultivated. You show presence when you listen first, when you laugh on time, when your eyes do not flee to your phone. Second insight. Value is a thing you show, not a thing you ask for. Value arrives as competence, boundaries, and contribution. Competence means you can steer a plan. You pick the date. You make a choice. You take responsibility for the evening. Boundaries mean you do not accept poor treatment. You leave when the energy is wrong. Contribution means you add to the experience. You create a story to share. This is attraction in action. People sense it. They lean toward it. Third insight. Scarcity without sting. This is not playing games. This is spacing that allows interest to grow. If you are always immediately available, you teach people to take you for granted. If you are always scarce and unreachable, you teach people you are indifferent. The balance is simple. Be available when it matters. Be absent when the moment is dull. Show up fully. Walk away when the life is not worth your time. That economy of attention creates signal over noise. People start to value what costs something. Fourth insight. Emotional regulation is a daily craft. You train it like a muscle. When a text triggers you, you note the trigger. You do not act. You breathe. You reframe the story. The story is not that someone ignored you to wound you. The story is that they had a different focus. They might be busy, they might be cautious, or they might have no interest. You accept the range without collapsing. Acceptance breeds clarity. Clarity breeds choice. Fifth insight, authentic abundance. This is the kind that does not require validation. It rests on your projects, friendships, and goals. You build a life that would be good without a partner. That life does not abandon dating. It improves your presence. When you are already living fully, your energy invites others in. When you are empty and seeking, you drain rooms. Now a short practical example that will sound familiar. You go on a Friday night date. The conversation lurches. He talks about himself. The atmosphere cools. At a low point, you could fix everything with flattery. You could overshare, or you could change the frame. You smile, ask one clear question about her life, and then tell a bite-sized, slightly unexpected story that reveals competence. You end the story before the punchline. You create a gap. She wants the finish. That gap pulls curiosity like a magnet. You did not chase. You drew. This is a precise use of both Stoic pause and Machiavellian structure. The Stoic allows you to be steady in the moment. The Machiavellian gives you a method to steer attention. Here is another example from real life. A man I know, call him Dan, was fresh out of a breakup. He joined a gym. He wanted validation. After a month, he started messaging women from the locker room. He sent long messages. He asked for rapid meetups. He called after 2 dates and asked where the relationship was going. He complained about mixed signals. I told him to stop. He could not stop at first. We set a challenge. No texting for 48 hours after any date. No explanations. No chasing. When he followed the rule, his tension fell away. He sent short follow-up messages days later. Women replied with curiosity. His options rose because his need fell. He learned to be self-contained. That change in him made him attractive. This leads to a training you can do. A 48-hour test. After a date or an interaction you want to push, wait 48 hours. Do nothing. Do not send an explanatory message. Do not insert yourself into their schedule. Live your life. If they are interested, they will reach out. If they are not, you will have saved yourself from deeper disappointment. Use the time to do something that builds you. Go to the gym, meet a friend, finish a task, return from the 48 hours with a short message. Keep the tone light. See what happens. You might think this sounds like playing hard to get. It is not. It is demonstrating that your attention has value. It is showing that your life is not hinged on their reply. That is power. That is attractive. Now a short, sharp principle from the darker playbook. Call it frame control. Frame control is not coercion. It is the act of owning the definition of the interaction. If the conversation rides into complaint, you do not accept that theme. You change the topic. If someone tries to guilt you, you do not accept guilt. You define the terms. You decide what conversation you will host. People test frames constantly. When you do not yield, they either adapt or leave. Both outcomes are useful. Adaptation brings a relationship on your terms. Leaving protects your standards. Use frame control kindly. If someone complains about a small insult, you might say, I will not take that tone. I will step out until we can speak respectfully. That line shows that you run your inner state, and you will not allow others to rent space there cheaply. It shows limits. Limits attract respect. There are simple verbal moves that match this framework. Keep them short. Use curiosity. Use confident absence. When a conversation sours, ask a clean question. For example, if this is about anything serious, what do you want from the next week? The question moves the energy from complaint into decision. People hate indecision. They will answer. Another verbal tool is the calibrated tease. Not cruel, not vulgar. A light provoke that asks for an emotional response. It signals you are not desperate for approval. It also signals you observe enough to play. Use it sparingly. Use it only when you have built rapport. Let us practice 3 short mental moves you can do in any contact moment. 1. The 5 count. When a message arrives that spikes your emotion, count to 5 before replying. Not long, not short. 5 full breaths. That span brings perspective. 2. The framing question. Before sharing something heavy, ask one short question that brings the other person into the narrative. It shows you want to connect rather than perform. 3. The exit line. Choose a simple sentence to leave an interaction gracefully. For example, I have to go, but this was good. We can continue later. It closes with calm. You must also learn to accept a painful truth. Not everyone will be for you. Some women will not match your energy. Some will be better for someone else. That is fine. Your work is to be present and honest, to invite quality, to refuse the false warmth of settling. If she is not for you, let her go. Letting go is the practice of choosing life over illusion. This is Stoic at its core. At this point, I want to give you one direct script you can use after a positive date. Keep it short. Use it sparingly. Text, "I had a good time. If you felt it too, let me know when you are free next week." No emoji, no extra. This line does 4 things. It states your experience. It asks for a decision. It avoids pleading. It shows confidence. And one script for when you get ghosted. Wait 36 to 48 hours. Send, "Hope your week is going well." If you want to pick this up, let me know. No chasing, no accusation. Let the silence speak for what it is. If she replies, proceed with curiosity. If she does not, accept it and move on. Now a brief explanation about boundaries and empathy. Boundaries are not walls. They are signals. They tell others how to treat you. Empathy is the will to understand without collapsing. You must hold both. When someone shows disinterest, ask one gentle follow-up and then close the line. For example, "I appreciate you telling me. Wishing you well." That keeps the door dignified. It preserves your energy. A crucial part of this transformation is your life outside of dating. Your work, your friendships, your hobbies. If those areas are weak, attraction becomes a brittle house. Repair them. Build them. A man who is busy with worthy things radiates value. Not arrogance, not smugness. Real texture. People want to be part of texture. You will feel friction at first. Old habits are sticky. When you practice the 48-hour rule, you will fear missing a moment. You will imagine losing a match. Those are stories. Ask yourself what is more likely. Acting from panic often repels the very people you seek. Acting from steadiness invites them. Now a practical daily routine. Morning. Write 3 things you will do that day that have nothing to do with dating. Keep them small and achievable. Midday, check your messages. Respond in a single burst. Evening, choose one social action. Call a friend. Go to the gym. Read 30 pages. These steps build a life that does not hinge on a reply. You will notice your tone changes. Your text length shortens. You will become expectant rather than hungry. That is an attractive posture. Remember to be ethical. Consent matters. Attraction cannot be manufactured if one person is coerced. The strategies here are about self-mastery and honest presence. They work because they make you more pleasant to be around. They do not work if you use them to force or bypass consent. Use them to refine yourself, not to control others. Now, an intimate truth about vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is chosen timing. Stoics teach us to tell truth at the right moment. Do not broadcast raw pain at the first meeting. Do not unload your life like a truck. Instead, reveal a truth in a way that invites empathy. A controlled vulnerability says, "I care about this." It asks for understanding. It does not demand rescue. Practice that by sharing one small piece of true emotion in a sentence. For example, "I work long hours and that makes me slow to respond sometimes." That line tells a truth without creating drama. It shows you own your life. It gives the other person a chance to respond with kindness or clarity. If you want a simple checklist before a date, use this. 1. Be on time. 2. Dress clean and simple. 3. Have a plan but be willing to change it. 4. Ask open questions. 5. Leave space to notice. 6. End the evening with a short closing line that signals next steps or closure. These items are boring. That is their point. They are the foundations that support charm. One more story. Another man, call him Marcus, behaved like many do. He over-explained himself. He confessed insecurity early. Women responded kindly but never with intensity. He changed one thing. At a party, he listened more. He stopped trying to solve every silence. He let a pause sit. At that pause, he did not feel empty. He felt present. People who walked by felt that. 2 women later, a woman approached him because she liked that he was not scrambling. He did not try to trap her. He asked to meet again. She agreed. A month later, they were in a relationship that felt calm. He told me the change felt like turning a key. The key was not a line or trick. It was a different interior temperature. We close with an exercise you can do tonight. When you feel the pull to respond to a message immediately, do 3 things. 1. Breathe twice. 2. Name the feeling silently. Say to yourself, this is anxiety. 3. Write the 1 sentence you will send later. Then go do something that builds you. Return at the decided time and send the line. Notice how your tone changed. Notice how the conversation changes. 1 Stoic quote to carry forward. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Guard them well. Use this as a checkpoint. Guard your mind from jumping to conclusions. Guard it from offering pity parties. Replace those thoughts with action that improves you." And a last dark clarity from human observation. People match the energy they need from you. If you give dependency, they will feed you dependency. If you give steadiness, they will match steadiness. That is not a trick. It is a social fact. Use it for the right reasons. If this changed the way you think about dating, test it. Try the 48-hour pause. Try the short text templates. Try the presence training. See how your life shifts. Report back. Tell us what happened. We want to know the small changes. If you want more, like and subscribe. Share a moment below. What has one-time silence taught you more than words? Write it in the comments. Your story will help others see what steady presence looks like in action. You can become the man who attracts without chasing. You can hold your mind and choose your frame. You can stop making every reply a referendum on your worth. This is not a promise of magic. It is a path of consistent choices. Make those choices, live them. Watch how life answers when you stop bargaining for attention. This is Stoic truth, where silence becomes strength